Hello. Hello. Who are you?
I don't know. You can't even tell.
You got a little
my hairs.
speck on your nose. Got it off. Saved your life. All
Thanks.
right. You're welcome. I just touched your face. Are you allowed to touch other people's faces? And you're not supposed to touch your own face, but
Probably frowned upon, but we're already
we're
already infected and dying if that's the case.
Whatever. We're in the comfort of our own home, sort of. So anyway, what's happening, everybody? It's Wednesday. Welcome to the show. Today's Wednesday, so it's Boss Up and List Day. Welcome to anybody who maybe hasn't been to the channel before. I did post this on my personal Facebook because I'm like, I don't know, maybe there's people out there who know me but aren't part of this world and they're bored and they're like, let's go get bored some more and
and listen to people talk about reselling. And
I don't know, we're just gonna do like an ask me anything, ask us anything. So you know, if you have known me for a long time and you want to ask me embarrassing questions, you can do that, or Vicky as well. I'm Katie, this is Vicky, and it's Boss Up and List Day. What is Boss Up and List Day, for those of you who may not know?
Boss Up and List Day is the all-day virtual listing party that we host in the Boss Facebook group, the link of which is down below. If you are a reseller or thinking about reselling, or maybe you're stuck at home and out of work and you need to figure out how to sell the crap in your house to make some money, you might want to join the Boss Reseller group. We think it's the best Facebook group around. There's lots of them, but we think it's the best. Anyway, every Wednesday we talk about our virtually talk about with our coworkers our goals for the day, whether those are listing goals, photography goals, whatever they may be, and we kind of hold ourselves accountable and with our virtual coworkers. And on Wednesdays we stop at about 11 o'clock to bring you this show and talk about what's going on.
I mean, I know my lofty goal for the day is to get about 5 listings up, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it, but we've been really rationing our listings out, but it's such a crazy time. Our governor, we're in Las Vegas, so the governor of Nevada just issued like the official stay-at-home order. Before it was like a stay-at-home recommendation. A couple weeks ago, they shut down gaming, like they completely shut down gaming statewide, and so the casinos all closed and everything. But basically, it was like a stay-at-home recommendation, and today it's officially an order. So we've basically been under lockdown and we've been staying home the whole time. The last time we went out socially was on the 12th.
We've been on serious 12th. We've been serious lockdown since the 17th.
Yeah. And so so now it's going on through the end of April at least. That's what's going on here. It's kind of crazy, like getting used to like new routines. I was yesterday I haven't done it yet today, but yesterday I was doing my new thing. I feel like I'm working at a restaurant or something, and it's like, okay, I gotta get ready for today's shift. And I go out to the garage because it's like we've got all this stuff. Like we have so much stuff in our fridge and in our pantry that like all of our bottled water, all of our like soda, beer, stuff like that, like the backup stuff is like in the garage, like hidden underneath my hanging jackets. So it's like I'll go out there, I'll be like and I take like a cardboard box. I misuse
refill the fridge.
I misuse a priority flat rate box, but it is going to be used eventually to ship something. But yes, I break the rules. Take it out. I fill it up with the bottles of water. Then I go to the fridge, fill that up. Then I go get the beer that we need for the day, or I need. You know, it's important. And then I get like soda, Gatorade. Get everything stocked. I feel like I'm like
you're stocking the shelves.
I'm getting ready. Yeah, I'm getting ready for the shift for the day. I got to make sure we got everything we need to operate our business and our lives. So
it's a bit dramatic.
Whatever, man.
So yeah, it's been dire here. I had to dye my own hair. We all saw what happened. If you happened to watch the show on Sunday, you saw what happened when my hair dye was out of stock. So I bleached my roots and then had to have Joe Exotic bleach blonde roots for a few days until
roots.
Roots. Yep, roots. And then I cut my own bangs today. Not too bad. I think my hairdresser won't hate me too much.
Yeah.
Robin, so we're out of stock.
I want to say to Robin really quick. Blows my mind these governors wait so long. Seriously though, our governor,
he's been fantastic. He just didn't make it a mandatory stay in place until today.
He was very serious about it.
And serious, and he shut everything down on the 17th. So he's been on top of it. He has not been lax. I have to say, I'm not necessarily a fan of Governor Sisolak. I haven't always been a fan, but I think he's handling this very well as a leader of the state. And I have to say, he's done what needs to be done, despite a ton of pushback in a huge travel and tourism industry. He shut everybody the frig down, and put thousands and thousands of people out of work. And I know how difficult that decision was, but it had to be done. So
yeah, I mean, shutting down gaming in Nevada, guys, come on, in Nevada, you know how many casinos we have here, and every single bar, and so
restaurant, everything.
Yes,
everything's been shut since the 17th.
Yes, so
every salon, every non-essential business has been closed since the 17th. They did not make it mandatory stay-at-home orders, and now it is mandatory unless you are part of an essential business or doing something essential for your family.
But yeah, anyway, I think it's till the end of April right now. So far,
right now it's until April
30th.
Pretty much May 1st.
Yeah. So anyway, so we've been stuck at home, and listen, guys, I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. We're the jerks who've always liked to brag about how we don't have death piles.
Well, who's the asshole now?
I said jerk. I was trying to curb my language here. This is a family show. This is a family show. But I guess we made it 5 minutes in, so it's okay as far as monetization.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're still rationing our listings. So I'll probably do about 5 listings today. I think I have. Yeah. So I've got like a few listings left on this page. I've got another couple more full pages. So I really have been doing decent in rationing mine out. But man, it sucks because when your sales go down, your first instinct, at least for me, is to be like, okay, I'm just really going to buckle down. I'm going to push through this. I'm going to get some more, some good stuff up. I'm going to get stuff listed. And it's like, we're at a point where it's like, I can't do that. And so like the last couple of days, I've actually had some decent sales. And so I really started a couple of days ago going and trolling eBay and Mercari and stuff. And some of the Facebook groups that I'm in, streetwear Facebook groups I'm in. And now I think I've got like 12 to 15 t-shirts coming in, but like, that's not much. I need more. How's it going for you?
I have everything that I have is photographed. I've been rationing everything to about 10 listings a day. I have about a week's worth of inventory to list at that rate. And then I'm completely out. I have my friend Nanette is sending me some inventory, not my normal wheelhouse, but I used to sell things that she's sending to me that I'm buying from her. I have had a couple of resellers reach out to me, and please, if you are looking to get rid of your death pile, I am looking to buy. So if you're trying to drum up some cash and trying to get rid of your death pile, then I'm interested. Please send me a message. I'm looking to make it fair for both of us. I can't go out and thrift, and if you've got stuff sitting around that you don't have time to list and you need to make some cash, then we'll work out a deal.
Yeah. Real quick, I just want to tell Liz for a day, you shut your mouth, Liz. You shut your mouth. I'm not doing inventory. I'm not going to do it. You can't make me. Check back with me in a month, and maybe I will be at the point where I'm ready to do inventory. But otherwise, shut your mouth, Liz. I don't want to hear about it anymore. Inventory. Come on. But yeah, so off of what Vicky says, definitely I'm trying to reach out to people. So I will say I'm super, super interested in vintage t-shirts. When it comes to having to ship stuff across the country, I'm not really looking for sweatshirts and stuff like that, just because it really limits how much you can get in a box before the shipping goes up pretty high. But let's say you have a bunch of clothing that you haven't been wanting to list, you've been sitting on, and maybe you need to make a little bit of extra cash. I will definitely be happy to look at what vintage t-shirts you have, maybe work out a little deal. So please let me know, so we can like get some freaking work done here.
Yeah, seriously. Man. So we're looking to help you guys out too. So I know unfortunately Robin has a lot of hard goods. I'm not, I can't come shop your garage, and hard goods did not make sense for me to purchase from anybody right now, obviously, but I do specialize in vintage clothing, men's and women's of any kind. And linens. I'm not going to buy a comforter from you. That doesn't make sense with shipping and price, but that type of stuff. Smalls. If you've got some stuff, especially if you're local, we do have some local friends that may have backlogs that they're looking to get rid of. Porch pickups. We're doing whatever we can right now. Yeah. So
probably sometime in the next week or so, I'm going to have to go out, get into like full hazard gear, which I don't even know. So that's the thing. It's like our lockdown is like you can't go out unless it's absolutely necessary. So it's like now I don't know, like a week from now, if I want to go to Barry's storage unit and pick up some inventory, am I going against the order? Like probably, right?
You probably are. Yeah.
See, and that's like, so yeah.
So my sales are pretty decent. They're not great, but they're not as bad as I thought they were going to be. I just went through, I'm a board game addict. I have tons and tons of board games. Literally the hall closet is full of board games. I've had them for years.
Actually, it's not, because they're all on the floor.
I know. I said I just went through and pulled 15 board games out that I'm going to list from my own inventory, for my own personal collection. I'm probably going to go through and finally get through my CDs and DVDs that I've had a huge collection for years and years and years, and I haven't touched them in probably 10 years. So I'm probably going to put together and do reseller, not reseller boxes. I'm going to do lots of like CDs by genre and things like that. I mean, I have some things in there that are worth $5, $10, $15 a piece, but nothing, you know, I don't have collector CDs. I have my own collection. You know what I mean? So
Liz wants to know, what about the stuff on the side of your house?
I got rid of it last month. I did. I got rid of it last month. You know, some local reseller friends came and picked it up. I gave it away.
Yeah. But the reality is, I mean, it was a lot of like boating stuff. I don't know how much of a big demand there is for that right now. So it's not like,
yeah, people can't go out boating. So it was like anchors and boating things. But the converted bedroom, I don't go in there. So Katie likes it because it's a lot easier for her to pull her inventory. I'm getting used to the garage being set up the way it is now. It is easier for me to get to my inventory, yes. And I do have room to grow. It's not it's not ideal, but it's better than it was. Yeah. I'm still getting used to giving up one of my bedrooms.
So basically my approach was okay. Could be better.
Pretty much. That's your review. Yep.
Jerk.
Is our going to the post office essential business? As long as the post office is open for retail, then yes. I mean, honestly, you have to sell to make a living. So I consider that essential. And until somebody tells me otherwise,
yeah.
If at all possible, please schedule pickups at your house. I realize that that's not possible for every person, but the whole talking about porch pirates and crap like that, don't worry about that. Now you're home. So that's not the thing you need to be worried about. Yeah. If a postal service will come out to your house and do pickup, then you should do it. And it may take a couple of days for them to get into a routine, but you just schedule it every night. You don't have to have an exact number of what your parcels are. It doesn't matter. Just a guesstimate works. That's just a notification to let them know to come to pick up. Yeah. So please do that if you have the ability to do so. Yeah.
I do want to say, going back to the whole, we're asking about the converted bedroom. One thing that's really nice. So the only thing I have downstairs now in the garage are my jackets, hanging on my jackets. And there's a lot of times where I'll have a day where I don't sell any jackets, but I've sold, you know, everything else is upstairs, t-shirts, sweatshirts, sweaters, stuff like that. And so it's kind of nice because in the past, it's like we kind of, depending, especially on the day where like Monday when we have a lot of stuff going out, it's like I'd have to make sure I got all my stuff pulled so I could get out of the way, or I'd let her pull all of her stuff first because of the way we had it set up in there. So it is, I have to say, it's really refreshing that like today I actually had 7 things going out, but none of them were
brag
jackets.
About it, why don't you?
None of them were jackets, and so I didn't have to worry about getting in Vicky's way at all. So that was really nice.
I only have 4 things to ship out. So like I said, sales are slow, but you know, whatever, we're doing what we got to do. I'm not paying anyone to do any listing for me right now, so that's saving money. I'm not sourcing, so that's saving some money, although I would like to source. So again, if you have anything, I'm willing to buy. I don't want anybody to send me anything. I'm not looking for donations. I want to make it a reasonable business transaction for both of us.
Yeah, we know a lot of you jerks have death piles, and now you're looking at us like you're better than us. And yeah, okay, maybe you are, okay? But you need to make sales too, so sell us some of your stuff. I'm just saying.
So we have daily pickup from our mail lady. We've talked to her about it. We talked to her a little over a week ago, and she's like, they're gonna keep working. The post office will probably not shut down. Yeah. I think depending on what happens over the next several months, the international mail may shut down or may slow down, but it hasn't yet. eBay has stopped. eBay Postal Service or eBay shipping labels have stopped doing international labels for some countries. Pirate Ship is still shipping to all of the countries. So go ahead and get your labels on Pirate Ship because the post office has not made those restrictions. That was an eBay restriction they did through shipping. So go ahead and
just make sure you're, I would suggest go ahead and make sure that you're getting insurance on every international package that you are sending out now, internationally, just because with everything that's going on, if something ends up getting lost, or if there ends up being an issue with a certain country where they're not delivering the mail or whatever, you want to make sure that you're protected.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot more international orders over the last few weeks, and I think that I attribute that to people being home in other countries as well. And they may not be in the same dire financial straits as some people in the US are right now, because a lot of countries have helped out their citizens financially in big ways. So
well, and I think as like right now with all of the new, with the stimulus package and people getting, people are still in the process of trying to get signed up for unemployment. The people who are eligible for it, and it's like it's been really difficult because guess what? Tons more people are calling and going on the website, so it's hard to get through. But I think like within the next however long, when that kind of normalizes and balances out or whatever, and everybody's able to get their unemployment, and it's like they're set for the next 4 months.
Right.
It's obviously not everybody's able to access.
So people have asked about the unemployment thing. I've seen a lot of questions going around in different groups, and I've gotten messages, and I've gotten emails and things like that. I have to say, I'm not a tax accountant, and I do not believe with the current verbiage that we qualify even under the expanded rules of the unemployment as far as being small business self-employed owners. There is some talk about 1099 employees and gig employees and temp employees and all that kind of stuff. It has expanded to a lot of people like that. I have not seen any verbiage that actually works out to be in our favor. That being said, go ahead and apply.
Yeah,
I mean, you are going to get the $1,200 check depending on your income, your adjusted gross income. But if you have the ability, because your sales are down, if you have the ability to apply for unemployment, absolutely try. I think if it were me, I would wait a couple of weeks, because I know that the rush is happening right now. And with a lot of people that have been, laid off and their businesses have closed and things like that, and we're in a different position. So waiting until there's some clarification on that verbiage, and waiting until maybe the websites and the phone lines slow down a little bit,
and allowing the people who are actually in desperate need to like we're not in a position where we don't know how we're going to feed ourselves next week. So
right. They do have they do have SBA loans. That's true. That are much easier to get right now. Small business loans that'll help keep you operating. And they're a lot easier to get than they used to be. And they're funding them pretty quickly. But the other thing that I'm reading is that there may be small business grants available. A loan is something you have to pay back, obviously. A grant is not. You don't have to pay it back. So we may qualify for some small business grants. So I'm just waiting. I'm definitely researching it every day. I'm waiting to see if there is any clarification. And believe me, if I have a definitive answer on anything, I absolutely will share it with you guys in the group. And if anyone else finds anything, please go ahead and share. We're all in the same place. Some of us are doing better financially than before, and great. That means you have great items that are worth selling. And some of us are doing worse. Fortunately, we have some savings. There's still some money coming in. We're going to be okay. Talk to me in 6 months, maybe not so much. I don't know. Everybody's in a world of uncertainty. So right now we're just doing the best we can with the information that we have. So,
yep. Anyway, guys, so today we don't really have a set topic or anything like that. I'm just calling it the quarantine. Ask me anything, ask us anything. So we want to hang out and chitty chat. If anybody has any questions, whether they're business related, maybe you've expanded out to some other platforms and you have some questions specific to those platforms that either we can answer or other people in here can answer, or maybe you haven't ever sold anything before and you're just coming here for the first time and you're like wondering if reselling could be the thing for you and you have questions about that, go ahead and ask us. You probably got plenty of stuff in your house. I bet you got a closet full of puzzles and games you could be selling right now.
I had a friend contact me today and ask if they could give my email address out to help somebody who's trying to sell some stuff on eBay. And I'll do what I can to help. I mean, what the hell do I have? I have plenty of time.
Yeah. All right. So, put your phone down. Put your phone down.
That's who was sending me a message.
Anyway, reseller Rowboat, if you weren't looking at your phone, you'd know that they think your eyeshadow looks marvelous today.
No eyeshadow. It's the same eyeliner I always use.
But it's colored eyeliner. Most people don't use
my white and teal. It's what it always is. But thanks, Beth.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can you just say thank you? I need to get the spray bottle out and just start squirting you. She needs to learn how to take a compliment. Anyway, guys, so if you have questions, whether they're business related or personal, go ahead, ask us personal questions, see if we answer. What happens? So Vagabond Picker wants to know, do you think garage sale season will be better than ever with people doing spring cleaning right now, and when we come out of quarantine and people will need money? I don't know.
If you want to know my real opinion on that, I don't think we're going to be out of quarantine until late summer, personally. Yeah. I really think that we're all going to be pretty essentially locked down until late summer. Now, will it be? Yes, people will need
eventually.
Money. Yes, when eventually? Yes, I
think that season next year.
Fall, late summer.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be in our current state until
it's going to be a while,
until the end of the summer.
Yeah. So this is really about. I mean, this is kind of one of those things where don't waste too much time thinking this is going to be over sooner than later. Right now it's all about, we talked last week or the week before about, kind of, focusing on the things that you can control. And you got to kind of like look at this as like, okay, this is the new normal for a while. And it could be a long while. It could be a moderate while. Mm-hmm. But assume it's going to be a long while and really start to look at what kind of things you need to change or adapt to make this sustainable for the time being. I mean, obviously we don't want to be like this forever, but how do you make it sustainable for now, so that you can survive and maybe even thrive? I mean, I'm seeing all these awesome like pictures and stuff of people like completely overhauling their inventory systems and really kind of getting stuff dialed in, not doing inventory. Okay, Liz, so don't even bring it up again. All right. But at least getting stuff organized. It's funny though, because I think our first week of staying home, we pretty much like got through our main projects. But anyway,
even when we're forcing ourselves to just do projects and not work as much, we have to overachieve doing the projects.
Seriously. Because part of it's just because we were doing kind of some massive overhauls. And it's like, when you do like one of those projects where you're completely reorganizing, when you're in the middle of it, it's like stuff is just everywhere. And it's like a nightmare. It's like a tornado came through, and it's like, it makes you like so stressed out and anxious. So when you're doing those kinds of projects, you kind of have to power through and get it done as fast as possible so that you aren't like wanting to jump off a cliff.
That's me, obviously. So I know some of you guys are not in good positions. Deborah said quarantine's really difficult. She's by herself in her 60s. And I'm really sorry, Deborah. I hope you can reach out to Facebook groups, to friends, even our virtual friends, if you need someone to talk to. We're going to continue doing these shows. You have to try to stay connected in some way, even if it's virtually. Thank goodness we have, internet and FaceTime and YouTube and things that we didn't have, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, if this were to happen.
And the thing about this time, it was something like this. I mean, this is something we've never lived through before. And everybody's got a different level of difficulty when it comes to this. Some people are stuck at home alone. Some people, like, Deborah, some people, maybe they're stuck.
Emily is separated from her husband right now. Her husband, she just moved, and her husband is
by geography.
Physically separated from her husband. She just moved to New Mexico with her family, and her husband was finishing up things on the home to get the home ready to sell and sell their home in California. And now he can't get to her in New Mexico.
Well, and she's very close to her daughter. They spent a lot of time together too. So, but basically, so yes, everybody's got their different levels of difficulty around this, but this is the first time that we've gone through something like this where it's a shared experience with the whole world. Like, not even just, you can go back to like 9/11 and yes, that was a very much like this horrible tragedy that brought the people in this nation together. But it wasn't so much of a global thing. This is like, this is like nothing we've ever gone through. It's very unique, and we're all doing it together.
I can speak from experience on a large scale tragedy, not 9/11, but a large scale tragedy where there is a huge group of people that are collectively going through the same thing. And I can tell you that you are far better as a group than as an individual. it is something really good that we all have each other to talk to and rely on, and you know, be real with. So it's something that, you know, it's unprecedented obviously for all of us, but it's really good that we have other people to identify with. You know, we got on, you know, Streamyard, this service that we used the other night with our friends to just chit chat and have a cocktail, and you know, watch some yacht rock that was streaming on YouTube. And you know, even just that for an hour and a half with our friends that live in the same town that we can't see right now was, you know, I think helped lift everybody's spirits a little bit. We're all going a little bit stir crazy, and it's not going to happen, you know, it's not going to be over anytime soon. So you've got to do what you got to do to stay sane and stay centered. And, you know, if you're somebody that has a lot of anxiety like I am, and I know many people in the chat are, at first I was okay with this, but lately it's not been as good the past week or so. And all I have to say is that the thing that works for me is focusing on what I can control. Little by little, day by day, focusing on what I can control. And what I can control is the amount of time that I spend reading the news, reading the ugly stories, scaring myself, reading the conspiracy theory crap. I can control that. And in controlling that, I can control my own environment. And you can control your own environment like nothing else now, because that's all you have. So do what you have to do to keep yourself sane.
So Keynote Director wants to know, are you doing the 50% deferred invoice payment for eBay? Is it worth it? Now, I know there were some issues. I don't really know what the deal is, but people signed up for it. It was supposed to be like 50% of this invoice or 50% of the next invoice. And then people still got their whole payment taken out. But assuming that it actually works correctly, we're not taking advantage of it because we don't need to right now. I do want to say to people, like, listen, there are a lot of different things going on, whether it's having your rent being put on hold, having your mortgage being put on hold. All those things, you really need to evaluate what your needs are right now. And if it's necessary, if it's absolutely necessary, definitely take advantage of stuff like that. However, you want to pay attention to, okay, what are, you know, some mortgage companies are saying, we will take your payments for the next couple of months and put them on the end of your mortgage payments. But some of them, it's like, okay, we'll take them away for the next few months, but then they're all going to be due 4 months from now. So with these deferred payments on eBay, you're still going to owe that money within the next couple of months, few months, or however it turns out. So you really want to ask yourself, okay, is it a matter of like, I absolutely have to, like, let's say, buy some medication or pay for food? Okay, of course, there's going to be those kinds of priorities. But if it's just like, oh, I just want to like offset some of my costs this month, I'd be careful with that, because you are going to have to pay it eventually. And you don't want to be in a situation where 3 months from now, if you don't pay double what you're expecting to, your store gets shut down, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and some mortgage companies are doing deferred payments by a month or two and tacking it on the end of your loan. And if that does not affect you in a great manner, that's not a bad way to do it. I know car companies are doing that right now. I deferred my car payment for 1 month because I was able to, because it was easy and I could do it online. And why not save myself $600 for 1 month? But that was the only thing I was able to defer, and I'm okay with that. One thing to let you know, if you do have a PayPal loan, I think we talked about this the other day, if you do have a PayPal business loan, by calling them, you are able to have them stop taking payments out of your sales for 30 days.
I heard, now I don't know if this is true, but I saw some people saying that they had automatically just started doing that for everybody. I don't know if that's the case.
I don't know.
And I don't know if anybody in the chat can say, but if you are still getting PayPal capital loan payments being taken out of each of your sales, you can call and they will.
You still have to meet your 90-day minimum payment, but that minimum payment is usually far less than what you're actually paying.
I usually do more than triple that within a period.
As do I. So, you know, sometimes having more of your cash in your hand or in your account is worth it.
Well, and that's what the reason.
Sandra said hers stopped automatically.
Yeah.
So some people, that's what they're doing. They're stopping repayments for 30 days to give people a little extra cash.
I could say, you know what, as much as PayPal drives me crazy sometimes, I appreciate that they went ahead and did that. Now, part of that, I would say, probably might have to do with the fact that they shut down their customer service, and they probably wanted to shut down their capital loan customer service as well, because it's a separate department, and maybe they decided it was easier rather than having to field ridiculous numbers of calls from people asking, because you had to call in and actually talk to a person to request it. They might have just decided proactively it made more sense for them to just automatically do it for everybody. Now you can still go in manually if you're somebody who's like, I don't want them to do that. You can still go in and manually make payments at any time. But this just helps. It's like finding ways to offset some of your costs while sales are down. So anyway, so guys, any more questions, business questions, personal questions? Yeah, Citizen Styles says, Ryan Roots says that sourcing from thrift stores and garage sales is a hobby and not a sustainable business.
It's a different kind of business.
I mean,
I didn't see that he said that, and I love Ryan and Allie. But I think that it is a sustainable business for many people, but it is not a sustainable business for everyone.
Yes, it is more difficult, and it's more of a grind, and it can be. And there are a lot of people who have a difficult time doing it full time and actually making a decent living. And yes, it's like if something happens to me, like when I had my accident, if I didn't have somebody to take over my shipping and stuff like that, like, yeah, my business would have just collapsed and it would have been gone. So there are parts of that are absolutely true as far as sustainability. Whereas if you own a business, you have people working for you and you have some automation in it, you can be sick, you can have something big happen. And with like looking at Rally Roots and how they have their business set up, if one of them was completely incapable of working for 6 months, their business would still go on because they have it built in such a way that it is much more sustainable. So there are truths to that, but at the same time, it's not.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean that
we're Katie and I, do have a sustainable business or have sustainable businesses, but it has taken us a long time to get to this level. Now, that being said, if every thrift store and garage sale and estate sale in the world shut down over the next 6 months, we're going to be in a very different position than some people in 6 months. So, my brother and sister-in-law have a very large Amazon business, and they are shut down right now because they can't send because
they just do FBA.
They do FBA. They can't send pallets in.
And you can't get your stuff back.
And you can't get your stuff back from the warehouses. So they're essentially shut down right now. They've switched to what they have in their home, switching and selling as merchant fulfilled. So they have some income coming in. And my brother still works full time as in IT, and he works from home. So they're safe, but they have lost $30,000 a month in sales because they can't do their business right now. So, it is what it is.
Yeah.
People are talking about dispensaries being open. Yeah, Katie and I don't partake in that, but
well, that's not entirely true. You use CBD
I use CBD oil that doesn't have THC, so I can get that anywhere. I don't need to get it at a dispensary.
But the places where that's most available is a dispensary. And the thing is, when it comes to talk about liquor stores and dispensaries and stuff like that, I mean, I get it. Can you imagine if that, people are stuck at home, people can't go out and do anything. Not to mention the fact that there are people who are hardcore alcoholics, and if you just completely cut off the access to that, that is a health problem right there.
It's a domestic violence problem.
Well, that too, but it's also just the fact that alcohol withdrawal is like the one withdrawal that can actually kill you.
There's going to be a lot of domestic violence in general. There's going to be a lot of problems that come out of these shutdowns, and it's really unfortunate the type of things that are going to, kind of come up.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, you have to mitigate. It's one of those things you have to mitigate loss of life over that percentage of things happening. So,
well, and there's also like, if you were going to tell people that they all have to stay home, and not just for a week, but for literally months, for a lot of us, I mean, just regular people, it's like, something that makes it more manageable. I'm not like getting wasted or anything like that, but yeah, having a glass of wine, having a drink. And it's like, how did Prohibition go? Not so good. So you need people to stay home.
Jen said there are so many crises happening within the crisis. You are correct, and that's going to continue and only get worse over the next few months. And not to be Debbie Downer, people are going to be running out of money, and and losing their health insurance and losing their jobs, and it's you know, it's going to be a scary thing. So I very, very much think it's as important, or if not more important than ever, to stay connected with the community, and have a support system. If it cannot be a physical support system because of where you are, you need to have a virtual support system.
Yeah.
Whether that's your family, your friends, your loved ones, whatever. And if you don't have that, then you have us. You have, you know, your fellow reseller family. You know, we're all in the same or similar boat in across all stretches of life in different states and different countries. We have people in different countries that watch this channel.
We've never had a shared experience like this before. Mother Deal says for anyone with substance abuse issues, there are AA and NA meetings on Zoom. So that's really good to know. Laura says that her husband hasn't been making her nearly as crazy as she thought he would. You know, we spend a lot of time together anyway, but it is definitely different when it's like literally every day, all day. Which for the most part was the way it was before, but I would still leave once a week for a few hours to go source. Vicki would leave a few times a week to go source.
And then of course we went out and did things socially.
And then we would go out and do stuff socially, not a lot, but usually at least once a week. And so it's just like nonstop. But I would say for the most part, other than there's parts of it that are really hard, obviously. And not being able to do our businesses, not being able to go out and source and things like that. But as far as like our relationship and us hanging out together, that part of it,
we still like each other. So
we still like each other. We've been playing.
I haven't killed her yet.
We've been playing board games and stuff, and I'll be in here working, and then I'll get a text from her from like the other room, and she'll be like, "Why do you hate me? Where are you?" Because she wants me to come hang out with her. So we're doing all right.
So I did see Jen say there's almost no help with mental health issues right now. I do have several friends that are psychologists and social workers and counselors in different states. There is a lot of telehealth available right now. So definitely look into that in your area. Telehealth is very big right now. There are lots of places that you can have a telehealth conversation, whether it's face-to-face or email or chat message, it doesn't matter, with a mental health provider. It doesn't even necessarily have to be somebody that's in your state. It just has to be if you're looking to, you know, keep it in your medical network. But there is a lot of telehealth, and definitely more available now than there ever has been. So go ahead and look at your healthcare provider's website and see what you can find, because it does exist.
Yeah.
And anyway, there's also, I saw HTK Flipper said if anybody needs to chat, she's always there to reach out. I feel the same way. You know, if somebody needs to chat, somebody needs to talk, I'm here for you. No judgment, no shame. You know, send me a message. If you need to really chat, and I'll give you my phone number. I'm good with that.
Yeah, and Susan, who's here in Vegas, says if somebody needs a number, I have a local person who's doing it. She's great for mental health. Just private message me on Facebook. So yeah. All right, guys. Any other questions? Business related, poisonal, whatever. Just let us know. We've got another 20 minutes or so that we can hang out before we actually have to go to the storage unit. That's the thing. Like, is that going to be essential? Like, we got to go. Vicki sold something, and we have it in the storage unit. And once the stay-at-home order is in effect, I think at midnight tonight, it's going to the storage unit to pick up something that you sold. Is that essential?
I think because you don't interact with anyone at the storage unit, it might be okay.
Yeah.
The reason I'm going to say that is because we don't have very much in there. I literally have about 10 items in there, and I've sold 3 of them this week, in the past 7 days. But I think we don't interact with anyone. It's keypad entry and exit, and we don't see anyone. Yeah. You don't have to go near people.
It's outside.
It's outside. I think that probably would be okay, but I don't know.
I have a.
And Liz, shut your mouth. We're still not doing inventory.
Liz, you better back off. I will ban you from the channel. Okay, but anyway, yeah, we do the keypad. I have like the disinfectant wipe on my finger, and I go dee, 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 dee. So
yeah. And then let's see, where's the question up here? Oh yeah, so back to the funny. Liz, Colorado Resale, asked, how many meals a day is everyone eating? 17? Is that too many?
I will say one thing.
I've breakfast, then after breakfast, then lunch, then after lunch. No, I'm just kidding.
So when we started out,
sticking through the intermittent fasting, it doesn't matter when you're eating 40,000 calories between 12 and 8.
It does matter though. Here's the thing. So when we started the year, we were trying to lose weight. So we were going to like counting our calories and doing intermittent fasting. The way we were doing it was we would only eat between noon and 8 o'clock at night. So since this has happened, we have all kinds of crap and junk food in the house and everything like that. I know I have been very much sticking, and Vicky has too for the most part. I think you've had cereal a couple times, big deal. But I've really been sticking to I won't eat until noon. And here's the why I do think it works for me. It's not making me lose weight. I think I have gained like maybe 2 pounds, so not a lot. But I think the only reason that's happened is because I'm doing the noon to 8 thing. Because otherwise, I'd get up in the morning, I'd eat a meal, and then I'd eat another huge meal, and then I'd eat another huge meal. But this way, it's like I eat at noon or a little after noon, and I'm full. I might have a little snack in between, and then I eat a meal at night, and then I have some more. So I'm definitely eating way more than I should in junk food, but skipping any eating before noon helps a lot, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that like Sandra says, I'm about to be able to qualify for my 600-pound life. I'm just wondering, do I reach out to the producers or do I automatically qualify in another couple months? Because I'm definitely going to be.
I think there's going to be a lot of, years from now, sometime over the next, 5 years, 10 years, there's going to be people who are going to do studies and stuff like that on like the effects of this pandemic and a lot of like the kind of peripheral effects and stuff and things. It's going to be interesting to see all those statistics, like, Americans gained an average of this much
47 pounds in a 2-month period. Rick says, I stepped away for a second and now food is the topic. Nothing has changed on this channel.
How dare you, Rick?
Rick, speaking of food, Mr. Foodie himself is
doing all kinds of fancy stuff,
making all kinds of gourmet vegan and vegetarian meals and taking pictures. And, it's a little bit ridiculous. All right, Rick?
Yeah.
You're making all of us look bad. Those of us that are hoovering Oreos straight out of the box and dunking them in our milk.
Yeah. So HTK Philipper, she says, my 14-year-old is taking up baking. She's a prodigy. We're all going to need rolled out of our house when this is over. Yeah, I loved baking when I was a kid. I got really into it when I was little, and I loved it. And I don't do as much of it. I don't really do it now, but I do enjoy it. I like, when it comes to like cooking and baking and stuff like that, I like having a recipe. And it's like she doesn't. She's like, she doesn't have.
I don't like cooking and I don't like baking. I can do both.
I like it. It's fun.
Actually, I'm not a very good baker. I can follow a recipe, but I'm a good cook. I'm just not. What do you say? Really? You don't think I'm a good cook?
No, I'm talking about. You said I can follow a recipe, and I'm like,
I can follow a recipe for baking. I'm not a good baker. I am a good cook. I do not like to do either of those things.
There have been at least a couple of times where when we had the meal prep thing that would come to our house, and you had to follow the recipe card. No. You would completely because you'd be like, and you want to go in and just do it really fast. You're a good cook with stuff that you know how to cook. It's when she would have to follow the recipe card and something would not turn out right, and it'd be because she completely skipped like one step.
Oh yeah,
because you don't really pay attention. You're just like,
because I don't follow recipes.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. That's my whole point.
I generally don't. Anyway, yeah, I don't like to cook. I don't enjoy it. A lot of people enjoy cooking, and I get that. I appreciate that. I do not enjoy cooking. I enjoy eating.
Yeah. It's all right. Anyway, I do like to cook. I mean, it's a little bit harder now because it's like being able to go and buy all the ingredients that you need to make something. And but I think I am a very good cook.
You are a good cook. You are.
That's
she uses every single pan in the house. But
whatever, you big crybaby. You big crybaby. Anyway,
apple pie in the oven now. Wow, you guys are great. Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of you guys out there are getting so sick of cooking. I mean, there's a couple of things that we do. So we had, we bought some frozen goods and stuff like that. We had a couple frozen pizzas. So when there is a night when you're just sick of it all, you can just throw something in the oven, or we got the frozen lasagna or whatever.
Because we're the kind of people that eat out 2 or 3 nights a week normally. Yeah. And right now we're not doing takeout. We're not doing anything. I mean, I realize the restaurants are closed, but many restaurants are offering coupons and deals to do curbside pickup and takeout. Yeah. And we're just feeling kind of skeevy about that too.
Well, I want
to be able to prepare my own meals, and I'm trying to
we're trying to
mitigate
limit our
contact with people.
Limit. We're trying to limit our exposure and potential exposure. So the less that we are exposed to something, the better. Because I have no idea what's going on back there in the fast food place, or we're not even going to Dutch Brothers anymore. But yeah, the other thing that we do when we actually do cook a meal, which obviously we've been doing a lot, is trying to make something where it's going to last 2 nights. So it's like, do something in the crock pot or in the Instapot or whatever. And it's like, make it a double size meal, so then you can reheat it the next night.
I'm gonna ruin that temptation for you, kids, deals and more. Our Chuck E. Cheese is offering $5 large pieces, pickup only. Let me just tell you something. Chuck E. Cheese pizza is disgusting. So there you go. You don't need to do it. It's a horrible pizza. I have a child. I don't remember the pizza. I was forced to do Chuck E. Cheese many, many times. Okay, and nieces and nephews, and I had stepdaughters. We did Chuck E. Cheese a lot. It's a place that every kid loves. It's a germ pit. God, it's awful. Screaming, yelling germ pit. I hated the damn place, but kids love it. So we went a lot. But man, that Chuck E. Cheese pizza is nasty.
Nasty. I don't remember it at all. So Denise wants me to explain my t-shirt soup and the bleach. I got bleach balls. She wants to know about the bleach balls. Anyway, she said I can't find bleach balls anywhere. So Denise, a couple of things. As far as my t-shirt soup goes, I actually haven't been doing as much of that, because now that I've started bleaching stuff, most of the stuff that I would soak before was like my white t-shirts and stuff like that. And so I'm not doing as much. But when I was doing it, if you go down below and click on our Amazon link to our Amazon storefront, and then there's a thing under there that's reseller supplies, and you go there, all the different ingredients they use, stuff from the Dollar Tree. There's the LA is Totally Awesome. It's called Base Cleaner, but it's basically like OxyClean, the powder. I would dump like a whole tub of that into a sink full, you do in the kitchen sink, a sink full of, so probably about 5 gallons of hot water, and you could soak for like up to 36 hours. And then I just wash it like normal. So that's one thing that you can do. But as far as my bleach balls, I actually have them right here. So these, I got these at Walmart. So when you are going for an essential trip to the grocery store, and if you want to go to Walmart, they have this brand there, which is better than the other brands, because the other one, like the Clorox, it's like really expensive and you only get a few. But this one's, there's 32 of them in there. It costs, I think it's like $3 or $4. But they actually, in the link below, these are on there. They cost more because you're getting them on Amazon. But anyway, I put them into the washer. I don't add water first. I honestly just throw in a bunch of t-shirts. Let's say I throw in 10 t-shirts. I throw in like 4 or 5 of these tablets. It's going to make everything smell like bleach, like crazy.
You may have a tough time finding them right now. Like what maybe Crystal's saying, bleach is a cleaner that's hard to find right now.
Right. But these might be easier. Just saying. I don't know. Anyway, throw in like 4 or 5 of those. Throw in a couple of the detergent packets that we use, and then I do it on hot water with pre-soak, and that for a lot of stuff gets everything out. So that's that.
So Emily had said she had someone take her to Chuck E. Cheese on her first date when she was 20. I'm assuming there was not a second date. That's terrible.
That's pretty funny. Sandra, inappropriate. Gross. Yeah. Laura says we bleach everything in this house pre-COVID too. Only buy white bath towels because I like them clean.
Well, I have hot pink hair, so I cannot have white bath towels. Yeah. I have a lot of bleach in this house because I'm constantly bleaching things because my hair runs, especially the first week. So dark towels only, because white bath towels would be awful. I bring my own towels with me when I go away because I hate to ruin hotel towels because I think it's mean. So even they have, white towels, and they bleach the crap out of them. I don't want to leave a hot pink towel at a hotel. I feel awful. So listen, now they're just trying to tease me. Rick talking about bleaching the pits. You're gross.
You're gross. All right, guys. What other questions you got? Business or personal?
Emily says he was a recommendation from mom from church. He loved the salad bar, didn't have kids, and liked Jesus. Yeah, I'm glad you didn't go on a second date with that wackadoodle.
And hung out at Chuck E. Cheese. Okay. Okay, it's a little awkward.
Looks so weird.
Yeah, Mother Deals bleach balls sounds like a new rap song. So let's go ahead and somebody can write that rap song for us about bleach balls. Anyway,
I use the dollar store Oxy on a Farrah Fawcett iron-on. Yeah, iron-ons are sensitive.
Yeah. Yeah, be careful with that.
You gotta be real careful. You can't be using bleach on iron-ons or anything like that.
I haven't done it with an iron-on, but for the most part, that's the thing that opened up the whole world for me was these bleach balls. Sorry, I'm gonna keep razzing about that. But that's the thing that was understanding that the print on t-shirts is not affected. Like this print right here, I could bleach the shirt and it would bleach all.
Well, you can't bleach it if the shirt were white.
Shut you up. I can bleach the shirt, and yes, the t-shirt itself, the dyed t-shirt material that's black would be affected by the bleach. The artwork would not. So on a white t-shirt, the artwork is not affected unless it's an iron-on. And an iron-on probably would survive bleach, but I don't know. Soaking it in OxiClean is probably where you're really going to have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing that I discovered is that heather gray sweatshirts and t-shirts does not bleach. So that's another thing, is that if you have stains on a heather gray sweatshirt or t-shirt, go ahead and throw it in with all the other stuff to be bleached, because it's not
the things you learn.
Yeah. So you'd think like, oh, I'm going to ruin it and it's going to be white. It's like, no, it won't. Anyway, Sandra has written the song. You want to sing it?
No.
No? I like bleach balls and I cannot lie. You other resellers can't deny. But when a t-shirt walks in with a bunch of stains, I get sprung. Something like that.
Bad. I'm not even. Nope.
No, you don't approve? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, yeah. Any other questions? Bring them on. Bring them on. We got about 10 minutes. We got about 9 minutes here before we got to run and go to the storage unit and then have some lunch. Quit looking at your phone. Stop it.
I've got to print out the label on the way to the storage unit so that we can slap it on and drop it off.
There you go. There you go. Anyway, guys, tell us what's up. What's happening? What's going on? Anything?
Are you as bored as we are? Because I'm pretty bored.
I'm okay. I'm fine with it, but you're not as fine with it.
Ooh, Deborah Anderson. Any plans to do more store reviews? Sure.
Maybe we'll do that next week.
We could do a store review next week. Somebody send me some messages. If you are interested in being a store that gets reviewed, send me a message.
Yeah. You got to be willing to go on the show with us and let us all look at your stuffs.
You've got to have a webcam. And if you don't have one, your chances of you buying one at a reasonable price right now is not good. That's another tip, by the way, Bolo, right now. If you happen to have webcams in your house for any reason, lots of people have them for their computers, for schoolwork, whatever. Kids that are doing distance learning, all kids right now, desperately need them. So if you have one in your house, sell it. If you're not using it, you're going to get at least twice the price, even for the older ones.
So Crystal, who's here in Vegas, says, is your mail carrier still picking up packages? Ours have stopped.
Yeah.
So far, our regular mail lady, she took this week off, but she said that there weren't any plans for them to stop. And whoever
her sub has been coming every day.
Picking them up. So I don't know. Did they just stop, like they haven't picked them up, or did they actually tell you that they are no longer doing it? I don't know, but that sucks. I mean, we're able to go and drop ours off, but again, is that going to be considered? But is that going to be considered like essential, or what? Like, is there going to be an issue around that? What kind of enforcement are they going to be doing here? I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Is anyone homeschooling and has kids that's miserable right now? Probably most of you, if it's not something you're used to. I keep seeing obviously everybody's on Facebook, and I'm seeing all my friends that are homeschooling and they're frustrated, and the kids are frustrated, and just be gentle with you. This is unprecedented for them too. Nobody's expecting you to be an elementary school, middle school, or high school teacher.
Yeah.
You just do the best you can. I'm glad that my daughter is a grown adult, because to be honest, I know her personality and my personality. We would never have made it through this if we lived under the same roof. I am going to fully admit that right now. We would have killed one another. I don't know which one of us would have lived, but both of us would not have come out.
I know how to get on her nerves and drive her nuts, but I also know when to stop. I know when to shut it down. I don't keep going.
That's true.
If I can see that she's legitimately irritated, I'm not somebody who wants to keep pushing. It's more like I want to make her roll her eyes, but usually I'm able to like turn that into her laughing, sometimes even crying lately. She's been laughing. It's almost like we're getting like punch drunk sometimes, just being super silly and all that stuff. So anyway, guys.
Yeah, for those of you that have high schoolers or college kids, and this is their senior year, I'm sorry. I feel badly for all these kids. I keep seeing these stupid posts on Facebook comparing it to all you've got to do is stay home. Your grandparents went to war. They went to Vietnam. You know what? They did. And that's a terrible thing that they had to go through as high school seniors. But this is their high school experience, and it's entirely different. And they are absolutely allowed to be mourning the loss of their senior year. This is, I feel terrible for these kids that have worked so hard. And senior year is supposed to be full of all these milestones and celebrations. It's very sad, and I'm very sorry. I hope that they delay these celebrations and do something in the fall for kids instead.
When I was in high school, I wouldn't have cared about missing prom. I wouldn't have cared about missing graduation. But at that time in my life, my friends were very important to me, and I spent a lot of time with my friends and my close core group of friends. And it was a big part, a big time of transition and going from high school and getting ready for college. And a lot of time was spent with my friends. And so I will say that if this had happened when I was in high school, I wouldn't have cared about prom getting canceled or anything like that. But I definitely would have had a very hard time with not being able to spend time with my friends.
I really hope that somehow in the fall they have, and I think they will, because I think people understand how important this is rites of passages to kids. Becoming adults. I think that a lot of schools and communities will come together and give something to these kids in the fall and allow them to have that experience. I really think they will. I hope they do.
Yeah, for sure. So going back to homeschooling, Allison said that she failed grade 6. She was Canadian. Now I'm teaching it. True story. That's funny. Mm-hmm. I feel like maybe you probably been able to like learn those lessons since
I think you can handle 6th grade. I don't know, as long as it wasn't math, because let me tell you something, this Common Core crap, forget about it.
I'm good at math. I don't know about that stuff.
No, none of us know it. None of us know it.
Other deals, yes. My birthday is on April 19th. You know what? I don't really care if I'm gonna be stuck at home. I'm like, whatever. Like, it's not, we don't have any, we had a birthday party last year. And for me last year, because it was when I turned 40. But I don't really care. Honestly, when it comes to my birthday, usually I don't really care about celebrating. I just want to do the stuff I want to do. Now, it is a bummer that I'm not going to be able to go out and have Korean barbecue, which is kind of like our tradition for my birthday.
There will be no Korean barbecue.
No Korean barbecue.
But I will make sure that our friend makes her a cake.
Yeah, so I'll get to have pie. I'll get to have the food that I want, and I'll probably make Vicky watch some movie with me that she's going to be torturing her. But otherwise, I'm fine with it. I do feel bad, though, because we didn't really do a party for Vicky last year, because we kind of decided like we should just alternate years, and that way we're not having to like plan a big celebration every twice a year for birthdays. And so we talked about doing like a pool party for her for this year, but her birthday's in June, so not really sure. June 15th, so not really sure like what's going to be happening at that time.
That's okay. I'm old. I don't need a party.
I'll serenade you. How about that? Yeah, exactly, Lori. We're going to be watching. My birthday's going to be a Star Trek movie marathon.
Lori, I will find where you live and I will hunt you down.
It's against the rules. You can't.
Not okay. Not okay.
Yeah.
Not okay, Lori. She is not going to make me sit through that shit. I don't even care if it is her birthday.
Maybe we'll do like the Alien movies.
Oh, God.
Those are fun.
Jesus.
They're not awful. They're good. Whatever. Anyway. All right, guys. We have a couple of minutes left. And then we're going to get going. You got to go print out your label, and then she's going to make me chauffeur her because she can't do it by herself, apparently. Mm-hmm. And then she gets to sit in the car like while I go and expose myself to the keypad. Mm-hmm. Thanks a lot. And I get the stuff out of the storage unit. Mm-hmm. Thanks a lot. Mm-hmm. And is it going to FedEx? Mm-hmm. All right, you can take it in though.
I have to put on pants.
Yeah, I'm not putting pants on. Yep, exactly. Anyway, guys, so Lori says that she watches us religiously. She's in Michigan. And she would love for us to visit sometime, but maybe
we
not,
would love to
maybe
go
not
back to
you.
Michigan. Actually, we went to Michigan and we got to hang out with our other friend Laura.
Yeah.
And
Laura Frenzika.
We went to Michigan a couple of years ago. I would love to do it again. We liked it there.
We did. It was fun. We went on those little boats.
So anyway, yeah, everybody just stay safe, stay home, check in, you know, use the resources available to you, reach out to your friends, your reseller friends. And, you know, Kimberly asked a business question. Is there a way to send offers to likers on Etsy? There is not as of yet. They are one of the last frontiers with that, I think. I anticipate that that's something that they're working on because they've had the ability for likers in general for a while. So
you can set up, you are able to set up a coupon code that gets sent out to people who favorite your items on Etsy. I don't know how effective it is, but every once in a while, maybe like once a month or something, I will have a sale and it'll say 15% off. And that's the only way they're getting that is through that thing. So you don't have any control over it. You just basically set it up and it supposedly sends emails out to people who have favorited your items. So at the very least, you could set something like that up.
There's an email there. Somebody asked, marry me. How can we reach you if we have vintage teas for you to take a look at? Katie's email address is right below.
Yeah.
And anyone trying to reach me can send an email through that as well, and she sends them to me.
Or you can also contact Vicki on her Instagram. If you look down below, it has a link to her Instagram. So if you want to message her through that, that's also something that you can do if you want to just talk to her directly. Anyway, all right, guys, it is noon now. We are going to sign off.
Now Trish decides to join us.
Trish?
Whatever, Trish.
What is wrong with you? We're not all on your schedule, Trish. All right. Anyway, we are signing off now, Trish, but we send us a message or something. We miss you. We will talk to you guys all later. And hit us up if you have stuff that you want to sell us potentially.
Turn the mic off. Somebody's saying the mic sounds weird.
I don't know. It's not turned off, but we're at the end of the show, so I'm not going to do any tech support right now. I'm literally saying goodbye.
Okay.
But we'll see you guys on Sunday for our Sunday live anti-haul. Or I don't know, maybe I'll have a couple of t-shirts by then, but it'll be like, look at these 3 t-shirts I got on eBay this week.
We'll try to keep it as normal as possible.
All right, guys. Talk to you later.
Bye, everyone.
Stay safe. Bye.
Bye.